Hello, everyone. Welcome to a special edition episode that we are doing kind of like my old reload things, but just slightly different. What I wanted to talk about today was a game that all of us have enjoyed back in the day for the Sega Genesis, and I'm talking about Road Rash. Now, Road Rash got a couple sequels on the Sega Genesis, along with a Sega CD port as well. And then from those four Road Rashes, we kind of branched away from the 2D-ish style into more of a 3D style of animation with the characters and everything. And so from that point, you got your 3DO release, you got your Sega Saturn, your PlayStation, and your Nintendo 64 all get at least one title. But the PlayStation, they got two more. So they started off with the original Road Rash, was the 32-bit Road Rash. Got an entry into PlayStation, Sega Saturn, 3DO, and Road Rash 64 dropped over into the Nintendo 64. But at the same time, PlayStation came out with another one, this one called Road Rash 3D, and this one really kind of graphically looks like the Nintendo 64 one. So we got a second entry into PlayStation, and then now I hear on the internet that this one like killed it, but I've never played it. And that's going to be a Road Rash Jailbreak. I did play the Game Boy Advance one for a little bit. The Game Boy one, it was cut. Is you limited for space and limited for battery power. So your boy OVG here is ready to take a look at all three games. Let's go. Ah, yes, the sounds of the Sony PlayStation. Oh, music to our ears, even after all these years. And yeah, we got everything that looks exciting to be riding a motorcycle and running from the cops and saying, "Booyah, let's freaking go." And you are ready to play some Road Rash. Just like the other Road Rash games, you've got a couple different areas that you can race, and then you start off at a level 1 and you keep working your way up through the rankings and a badass on a motorcycle. And then here we go, it's Road Rash at its best. You finally left the cell shaded look, and you've got something that looks a way bit more realistic compared to what you were playing on the Sega Genesis, Alright, so with Road Rash 3D, the new thing that they bring to the table is the ability to choose what kind of class that you want to ride in, which I thought was a very interesting take to bring into the Road Rash series and let you start off with a different kind of bike. And this is where the similarities to the Nintendo 64 one start to show. But there's still, it's still very different from. So we're just gonna have some colossal wrecks, and but it still looks better than that of the Nintendo 64. And it's been so long since I've played this one, and maybe I'm a bit out of practice with it, but that first one, man, you could just jump right into that one and play that. There wasn't any weird handicaps or nothing. This one here, there's a definitely a feel for the bike you got to worry about. It's I haven't even tried to hit anybody. The race just seems more spaced out, and it just doesn't feel as much of a Road Rash as the one before it. But it's still here, and the more you play it and the better you get, it starts to feel better and make it's Road Rash. The EA games didn't fail us yet. So now we go over to Jailbreak for the PlayStation, and here we get, the ability to choose a gang that we're going to belong to, and we can go by an alias, and then from there, it's definitely different. Let's see how it handles. We're now in 2000, so this does look way better than the Game Boy one I played. It seems to be it's very responsive. I can't complain there. The buttons are where I would rather have seen them before, that they weren't there on the last one. So hooray for button placement. The handling's much better than the other game. Ooh, the fighting's nice. I might have to play this one a bit behind the scenes in order to find some real issue with this one. Honestly, I had never played this until I put it in today in order to do a review on all three. And just basically to say, here's the PlayStation 1. It was around back then. I totally just hit that lady. I'm so sorry. And, I'm playing a game that I didn't have to update. This is not bad. It looks like it may have been in the spirit of trying to bring the 2D and the 3D together, Yeah, I'd say that this one feels a lot more like a traditional Road Rash to me. So the question is what was everyone's problem with this game? And now this is a game that's now 25 years old. It came out in 2000. And it's not too bad. It definitely has a mixture of, whoops, sorry lady. Why do they keep walking out in front of my motorcycles? What are all these people doing in the street? And there's the finish line. For a first time out, and a first time look and hear, feel, play the game, that's wild. That is not bad at all. I think for back in the day, if you have a Sony PlayStation and you enjoy the Road Rash games, I think you have 3 different Road Rash games that are going to be available to you through the PlayStation. I still feel like this one here is a strong contender after playing all 3 of them, of being, like the crown holder. I do love what they added into Road Rash 3D. It's just the graphic style just felt kind of weird, and the bikes handled kind of weird, but it was okay. And then, the game that they say is what killed the series. I don't know if it killed the series. It's not horrible. It's still here, and EA just doesn't care about it anymore. So this is what we've got in order to be able to enjoy our Road Rash. And we got some new ones that came out, like Road Rage and Road Redemption. We got those games, and they're different, and they feel Road Rashy. Obviously, there's a lot to be said about Road Rage. PlayStation 1, if that's where you're at and you have a way of being able to play these amazing 3 Road Rash titles for the PlayStation, revisit them. Revisit them. They're not so bad. And by all means, don't forget about your Sega Genesis. Blow the dust off that cartridge and play some of the original if all else fails. Thank you for checking out this quick little in-depth review of the PlayStation's 3 Road Rash games. I'll see you on the reload.